And hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats. It is our FPL show because you saw us yesterday bemoaning Manchester United and lamenting Manchester United and doing all things, trying to figure out how we're going to do it, how they're going to do it. And AB wasn't the greatest, but he's back here today to talk something that he knows a little bit better, and he maybe can give ETH a little bit of a lesson on. And that is the FPL. It's the FPL show. This is Cheapsies brought to you by Classic Shirts ZA. Remember, this is our shirt of the week. You can go to their website and order this beautiful Liverpool 95 to 97 away jersey. It looks like last season's off-white cream with a little bit of green tinge. There's no green trim there, but it's what last season's one was necessarily based on. If you're a Reebok fan, a Reebok lover of those days with Robbie Fowler, go check it out at Cheap Seats at classicshirts.za. But you can also remember you can use the discount code CheapSeats99. Liverpool were really good back. Well, wasn't that good, but they were still far behind everybody else. Remember the discount code, as well as going to Classic Shirts ZA for this one. So really lovely kit. There's more kits at Classic Shirts, so please go check them out. This is the FPL show. So what we do every time is we talk about what happened in the week, what we liked, what we didn't like. Short enough, and then we're going to go in what we're going to do in the week. Guys, I had a bit of a situation. I took out Luis, and I was thinking of a differential Man City player, and I thought, hey, he plays on the left. Let me go Jack Grealish. Jack didn't start. And then I was like, oh, because I want Man City assets. So, I actually went, we'll see what's going on. But that was my week. But thank you to Gabriel. Thank you to Martinelli. Thank you for saving my bacon this weekend. I got a lot of goals outside of those two. And also Brian and Buemo, welcome back. We really are thankful. But I have a Leon Bailey situation. But that was me. I think 1.8 million in the world. So yeah, back to where I'm normally at. But Temple, you haven't been here since game week 1. How's FPL going for you this season?
Yo, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Just in terms of life, things are getting very, very busy. So yeah, I've been sort of foot off the pedal, just go with the flow. I had changes lined up. So I started with Kane, moved to Haaland because, obvious. In terms of Man City assets that are set and forget, it's him, Kevin De Bruyne, João Cancelo, who I slept on. But I put in Diaz just like to make sure that I got the clean sheets going there. But yeah, my Liverpool assets have been letting me down, except Salah on game week 1. But I'm glad I didn't captain him this week. I just feel like he's not the most, last season it was, how could you sleep on Salah? Obvious captain. But this season, it doesn't feel the same. The Liverpool team isn't the team that's like starting out the gates quickly like it did last season, especially with good fixtures. So there's a few question marks there, and yeah, it's good to know the Man City assets that you shouldn't be sleeping on, João Cancelo being the one of them. But yeah, I'm also in the Leon Bailey situation, and I guess it's basically going up or down. That's your decision. But there's not much to go to, so I've been looking at my bench, and Nico Williams is he's doing good things.
He's come in game week 2 and done really well for Forest. I think he got 7 points this week. And AB, how was your FPL? Are you back to your COVID days?
I'm not. I'm much like Ollie. I think I'm last in the world. No, I'm not last. I think Wahid's last. I still lost. Good guys. So my strategy on FPL is get your 55 points a week and move on. And I got 56 last week, so I'm happy. I don't care how the rest of the league is doing. I put 11 points on my bench because the guys who failed me in week 1, being Perisic and this Neco Williams child, got 11 points, and they were on my bench. So they got
demoted. And Perisic came off the bench.
That's something.
For like 10 minutes.
I captain Mo Salah because it's Mo Salah.
Everyone captains Mo Salah, right?
You know what's happened though is I have historically never been a Trent FPL person. You know that?
Yes.
this. Since day one, I've had Trent. And since day one, Liverpool are struggling. So I'm going to keep Trent because
take him out of your team, please.
No, I'm going to keep Trent. I'm going to keep Trent.
Yeah, for the rest of us.
No, if I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer. So,
oh, man. Okay, Dean, how's it going? You started in Game Week 1 saying you don't put Arsenal players in. You've told us throughout this FPL show that you don't like putting Arsenal players. How are you feeling right now? And you took out Harry Kane.
I took out Harry Kane for Haaland. Pretty much net null position, I guess. So that's fine. But yeah, no Arsenal is bittersweet. It's tough because I just know I'm not going to do well in FPL this season when everyone's got Jesus and that. But also quite sweet because I don't have to watch an Arsenal game and cheer when they score, which I will refuse to do for the rest of my life. So you kind of have to look at it in both ways. The nice thing is that I'm like not lost, so I'm ahead of someone like AB who can put Jesus in, which just shows how terrible AB is in this game. So it's tough. I'm trying to find different angles to like not or trying to move up the ranks without Arsenal.
We're going to ask you that.
We'll see.
Do it, dude.
It's tough in my own head, so we'll see if
Hey, Dean, if United sign Marco Arnautovic, then you can put him in because he'll probably be...
Or whoever United sign.
No,
not with the fixtures.
United with a 6-foot pole. The team is disaster.
I would put in Montreal if he comes back, but that's just me. But anyway.
The fun part for me in the draft is that I was picking last on both my drafts, and Bruno was sitting there. And I was like, you must be a fool not to take Bruno because he can give you something. And
no, he can't.
Guys,
I even took Jadon Sancho, and I'm in hell.
No.
Do you want a fun fact for FPL? So Andreas Pereira obviously just moved to Fulham from United. He's got 5 FPL points. That is more than any other midfielder in the United team.
That's crazy.
I saw as well that like half of the United assets have already had price drops, and it's game week 2.
Yes. No, but I also think those guys are being a little bit thingy. But anyway, what we normally do on the show is we ask the guys to tell us what they're going to change in the next game week to try and give you a flavor from everybody as to where the value is, where guys are seeing value, what guys are doing, and then to kind of guide you on your way to FPL championship or to beat your friends, whichever one you want to do. So I'm going to start with a man who's not doing any transfers. That is our Spurs man there in the corner, Dean. He's chosen not to do any transfers. You're not captaining Erling Haaland, unfortunately, right?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not captaining Haaland. I'm going to captain Salah.
Okay.
Good start on the slides there, Paul.
Don't worry. Like I was doing them very quickly. I do apologize. You're captaining Salah, but explain.
Captaining Salah, but yeah. So I was going to transfer out Leon Bailey because I think we all got that same problem. But the guy I wanted to move to, Josh De Silva from Brentford, because I can't go up. I've got no money, so I have to go down somewhere. And he already had a price increase, so now there's no point in going down to someone who's 4.6 because you're just going to sit with 0.4 in the bank and you can't use that anywhere. So it's pretty useless. So Bailey, I'm kind of going to wait and see. I know Gerrard came out and said the reason he paid with 2 strikers is to be more effective against the back 3, which they're probably not going to face a lot in the next couple of fixtures. So maybe Bailey comes back in to contention this week. I'm just hoping. But we'll make a decision post that and see what happens. So that's the reason why no one's coming in and no one's coming out. Captain Salah, I'm still going to stick it on Salah because United are that much more terrible than everyone else in the league. If I had Jesus, I'd probably captain him against Bournemouth, but as we've discussed, I can't do that, so I'm probably going to fall even more behind because that man's definitely going to score against Bournemouth. So the differential part is where I wanted to kind of talk, and this is the replacements, or not the replacements, but kind of the guys other than Jesus that I'm looking at. And the one that caught my eye is Tony. He had a goal in Game Week 1 against Leicester. He had 2 assists against United, which fine, not massive. But the fixtures for Brentford are really good looking forward. They got Fulham,
they're green and grey until Game Week 12.
Yeah, so between him and Buemo, I mean, they looked on fire against United. I don't think they're going to do that every single week, but at 7.1 million for Tony, you know he's going to be in the box. He can score headers, he can score goals. That assist he gave to Buemo, that pass was unreal. Even if it wasn't against United, it's a good pass. So he's one of the striker options I was looking at. I was also very close to transferring in Darwin Núñez. Before the red card, he's not completely off my radar. That man's going to get hampered by every single defender in the league, and you just can't afford that kind of error rate in FPL. So leaving with my triple Liverpool of Trent, Luis Diaz, and Salah. But yeah, if Salah stops performing, it's an easy transfer for me to KDB, to be honest. So that's one that I'm also eyeing. But yeah.
Yes.
Don't take advice from someone that's 4.5 million, I guess.
No, they should. It gives us a flavor. Then there's no point in doing the show. It gives everyone an idea of where to go.
Being normally on the show, I'm like, oh, I'm at the top, guys. Follow me. This is what I'm doing.
Okay, that's okay. You can turn it around. I was 3.8. Now I'm 1.8. I closed the gap. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Harry Kane. So for me, this week was an interesting one because last week I did take out Luis Diaz for Jack Grealish. I thought Liverpool, he might not have as the same impact as a Mo Salah. But I was like, okay, fine. Let me find some Man City assets because I didn't have any. I tried Jack Grealish as my differential. I realized actually no. But essentially, I wanted to take someone who was below 8. And so Jack was there. So I could make way for Haaland this week if Harry Kane didn't score. But because I just freaked out because Jack was benched, I was like, okay, no, guys, I actually need someone who's going to give me at least 60 minutes a game. Phil Foden at 8, you're going to have to come in. We'll figure out what we need to do coming in the weeks coming forward. There is the De Silva decision as to whether I take out Leon Bailey, I put in Josh De Silva, and then have enough money for Erling Haaland. If Harry Kane, because I'm going the other route. I'm like, I see Erling Haaland. Harry Kane can still get me 20, 25 goals this season if you wanted to. So
I think if you have Harry Kane, you keep Harry Kane.
Yes, honestly. You kind of have to. Because he took a price knock off the game we won. Like,
and Haaland's gone up twice more. He's only 11.7, I think now. So
yeah, so that was it. And then my differential is Bryan Mbeumo. He's been there from game week 1. I loved Brentford's fixtures, and I thought he was a really nice differential at 6. He's now 6.1 at 6 for a striker, a cheap striker to put in that isn't Taiwo Awoniyi or whoever Nottingham Forest have, or Mark Wood or Chris Wood. Mark Wood's the bowler. Chris Wood or whomever you want at 6. Mo Salah is still my captain, but there is the Gabriel Jesus angle that I can go into. But I knowing Arsenal and knowing my heart, I'd rather stick with Mo Salah. If Gabby scores, if he doesn't score, it's fine. I need Mo Salah to punish this Manchester United side. I have a sneaking suspicion he won't. And I'm willing to put money on it on Betway or wherever you want to bet. If you want to sponsor our show, Betway, you can. Because I think Manchester United, I'd actually put money on Manchester United drawing against Liverpool or even losing between 1 or 2 goals. That's a really good bet. And you could be a winner if you put money on Manchester United winning, and they actually do. Because something's got to give.
Well, let me check the odds quickly.
Something's got to give. But yeah, so that's where I'm going at. I'm trying to figure out a way to balance the side out. I'm also looking at to see where the Podence and Pascal grow. So that's my little other axis. Leon Bailey right now will sit on the bench, but I need to find a way.
Wolves aren't doing what everyone thought they would be.
Yeah, but he's a false 9, and so he'll give you chances. And he scored in game week 1. He's going to score every other game. So it's just figuring out who's got better fixtures. And I'm going with Wolves right now. Yes, I know they're playing Spurs. We're just gonna have to keep him in. He could sneak a goal. That'll be great. AB, gonna go to you. You've gone Josh De Silva.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I think I need to act on this Leon Bailey issue. Yeah, Stevie G and him aren't vibing. It is what it is. Josh Da Silva's only played 90 minutes though, so it's a bit of a worry, but he scored 2 goals. So like right now he looks great. But also he's low cost, right? So it's 4.6. If you acted early, he was 4.5. So it's all right for me because I've got other cheap players and I've got a bench that, meaning Josh Da Silva doesn't need to start. And I'm favoring a Mo Salah triple captain. I'll decide on this last minute. I want to see how the next few days with United go transfer-wise and see what the rumbles are. But I honestly feel that Mo Salah scores against United, guys. And
it's the trauma talking, AB. It's the trauma talking.
Look, guys.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dog. I said this before and I'll say it again, dog.
Triple, you sound like you are inside a tunnel.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So, because also the thing is, right, like I've noticed now that if you don't have Salah or KDB or both in your midfield, the pickings are tight. Like no one knows who's starting in that Man City midfield. We don't know if Foden's starting. We don't know if Grealish is starting. We don't even know if Gundogan's going to start once Cal Phillips is back. Like it's awkward. So I need to start building up to get KDB in, and that means buying these cheaper midfielders to supplement a big purchase later on.
Who's the other cheaper midfielder that you're buying?
So I've got
more than one.
I've got Andy P, Andres Pereira, who got me 3 points last week. That's fine.
4.5 FC.
Yeah, man. That's because I mean
I rely on that guy. He's in my game.
I mean, guys, as I said, he's got more points than any United player. Midfielder. So yeah, look, don't write off Mo Salah just yet, guys. It's 2 games in.
And Liverpool will need some sort of a boost after the start to their season.
And they're literally playing the worst team in the Premier League, if not in England. I mean, I'm surely.
Well, technically, the log says that they are the worst team in Division 1 in England. I just don't know.
I'm saying in England, period. I'm pretty sure.
I just don't know of the teams, if there are other teams that have 0 points right now in the divisions below divisions.
Even Chiefs could beat United.
No.
Oh, that's rough, bro.
Kaiser Chiefs cannot. They are rebuilding. They are going young. They have a plan.
At least they're going young. United have no plan. No plan. We're about to sell Garner. In fact, go buy James Garner right now while he's cheap.
At Nottingham Forest. No.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, he will play. Anyway.
Okay. Tebs, you are doing quite well. You've then bringing in João Cancelo. Don't you have Trent Alexander-Arnold? Or did you?
Yeah, I have Trent.
So you had a Liverpool
triple up
sheet issue.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. I was hoping for a lot of goal returns from Andy Robertson. He was very much in the box for a lot of preseason, even in the charity shield, the community shield rather. He was in the box. He was in the right places. Yeah, but now it's just that the clean sheets are an issue, and when you have defenders, their primary way to get points is with clean sheets, and if they're not getting that, then a 7 million price tag isn't one that you want on them. So it's a good time to move. I guess I wasn't really backing João Cancelo to get too many assists, but got some attacking returns. And I think it's an easy swap. Best defense in the league, a team that's flowing, a set and forget player. He's always in Pep starting lineups, and he's definitely going to get 60 minutes plus. And just while we're at it, just talking about minutes, this whole 5 sub rule has made Premier League very interesting, or FPL very interesting, because your player might start on the bench, but then they they're more likely to get a cheeky 20 minutes where they can really make an impact, like Perisic, for example, with AB. So I think that's something to consider. I want to see if I can find a way to sort of use that like knowledge. I can't think of a way just yet, but maybe you can do so with a lot of Man City assets, but I'll just go for the set and forget. But then, as you guys mentioned with Captaincy, Gabriel, for me, I had to choose between him, Salah, and Haaland. Those are my 3 captaincy picks. And I guess Gabriel against Bournemouth. I mean, I want to be attacking fixtures, and I think Arsenal are looking very good. We saw this man in preseason; he was on fire. Man is still on fire. So why not just go with the obvious thing?
Oh, I hope he gets injured.
Ouch!
Nothing
dude.
will make me happier than if someone just slide.
Damn, you'd wish injury upon another. Come on, bro.
I'm sorry. Yo, it's killing me.
Wow.
This FPL thing is killing me this season.
It's deep, bro.
I have tips. You're a Chelsea supporter. Where are the Chelsea assets this year? Is it Sterling?
Reece James, Cucurella look very, very good. Just in terms of the wing backs are key for Thomas Tuchel. Reece James scored. He literally just scored. You need to have that guy on your team. Yeah, not all the time, but sometimes he can. If Loftus-Cheek comes in, but you're still getting the clean sheets. He's going to give you 60 minutes, 100%. If they do get the clean sheets, they do have good fixtures. They are prone to conceding from time to time, but I do enjoy. What?
You're saying you're going to get clean sheets, but then they do concede. I don't understand yet.
Okay, sorry. Fair enough. Okay, let me put it this way. Reece James has a history of getting attacking returns. He's familiar with being in the box, and he's bound to get you points somehow. He can put in a good cross, and whether you're playing in a back three or a back four, whether he's the center back, he'll still sort of move up into attacking positions to just outside the box, So him, Loftus-Cheek, don't think of it as like a position that's set. Think of it as like a region that he can sort of move into from deep areas. So yeah, I feel the same about Cucurella, who's also, they can put in good crosses. They'll take corners as well. So get people on set pieces like Martinelli, for example. So that's what you get with the Chelsea wing backs specifically. I'm not sure about the forwards. I have Mason Mount in my team, and the thing about them is that they're very close to getting the goals, but it's just, I don't know, like bare margins. Like against Tottenham, Mason Mount had a shot that was just past the post. So he's in the right areas and he can convert. But Sterling is just at an awkward price point. But Mason Mount, if you really want one, but I wouldn't really bank on it. It could happen with the good fixtures that Chelsea have, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Okay. To close out the show, any other captaincy options for people out there? I'm looking at Harry Kane versus Wolves first up. I think
I'm looking at Son versus Wolves. 100%. Wolves are looking shaky at the back. Losing Cody to Everton, I think, was a big loss for them. I still don't understand that move, like sending him there on loan. Wolves aren't firing. I mean, they would have lost against Fulham if Mitrovic just didn't miss that penalty, and they lost against Leeds. So I think all I need, so my decision comes down to not having Jesus means I have Son in my team. I've got Son, Salah, Luis Diaz, and Haaland. So I've got like 4 pretty much premium assets. If Son bags a hat-trick, I'm back to top of the world. So if I captain him and he bags a hat-trick, I'm there. So
back to number 1.
That's what I'm doing. Actually, you've convinced
living
me.
And dying
Salah, we're going to captain
Son.
Son.
Okay. I see Fulham's playing Brentford, so that's probably a Mitrovic captaincy there for me. I think he might cause Brentford a little bit of trouble. But Man City, Haaland against Newcastle, is that a good captaincy option?
Yeah, or De Bruyne.
I'm touch and go about Haaland, though. He had 8 touches in the whole game against Bournemouth.
But he scored.
Assisted,
yeah.
Foden should have scored the ball and then he would have scored. But he goes from dominating West Ham to not having a lot of touches. So it is a little bit up in the air. So that's why I'm saying if you've got Kane, stay with Kane. And I would then try look at getting a KDB plus a Kane rather than a Haaland plus someone else. So
I want to say one thing about the Kane Haaland discussion. As you'll hear me saying, I want players that are in the box because that's where you're probably going to score a lot of the goals. Now, Dean, you tell me as a Spurs supporter, how often does Kane find himself in the box at the end of plays? I don't know. I see him in the midfield delivering some long ball.
Like 2 years ago for nothing. I'll tell you that much for free.
Yeah, but then something changed. Like when after he played for England in the Euros, I started seeing him play more as like a 10, like a Bruno Fernandes. Start delivering the ball instead of being like the premium strike. He can get you the pens, which is dope. But like you're captaining Son instead of Kane, you know, and that says something.
So I think
sorry. Fair enough.
To that point though, Kane can drop deep and does drop deep more often, but you also going to get goals plus now assists from Kane. So that's why for me, like if I had Kane, I'd keep Kane. Son, I just have Son because I've had both of them at the start of the season and then moved to Haaland when I thought he was going to destroy Bournemouth. Should have stayed. I wish I'd stayed with Kane, to be honest. So, yeah.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it for our show. Let's close it out. Thank you very much, gents, for joining. All the best for this weekend. AB, for your sake, I hope your team does something.
Something.
But outside of that, the deadline is Saturday at midday. Remember, the show is sponsored by Classic Shirt ZA, so please go check them out on their Instagram page or their website. And if you feel like you want to buy something, Cheap Seats 99 will sort you out with a bit of a discount. Just let them know that we sent you. So outside of that, thank you very much, gents. Thank you very much to everyone for watching. All the best for this game week. Goodbye and Asale.